Like any normal story, I guess we should always begin the same. My name is Christina, so by name, that's who I am, but I think my story will tell you a little bit more about who I am and what represents me. In 2002, I was a 21-year-old, innocent-minded, very naive, and very immature young woman. Graduated from college and thought that I had the best life possible. All I thought I needed was a partner. To me, that was what everyone around me had, a partner, someone who they could share their days with, laugh with, eat with, have dinner with. Acquiring my own apartment, already having a college degree, I figured that was the best to come, correct? So I met that man. We dated for 6 years. In 6 years of dating, a lot of tremendous things happened. Some were good, but most were just terrible. I remember in the year of 2003, because it took a year for him to show his true colors. I dated this man, and one day to the next, it totally changed. We went from a pleasant dinner to a plate across my face. I think that's when my entire life changed, at that very moment. I say this because to date, I can say that I'm a totally different person than I was in 2002. I dated this man for 6 years, and throughout that time, if I said things that he didn't agree with, I was smacked. My hair was pulled, even to the extent where I was left outside of my own apartment with no clothes on, naked, in the street. Neighbors had to come to my rescue and bring me into their home and take care of me that night because I was so fearful of returning back to the same gentleman. I recall times like New Year's when I tried to get his attention all night. I continued to call and call and call, but he would not respond to any of my phone calls. When he finally came in, I was terrified. I had no idea how he made it in because leading up to the time of him arriving home, I knew that by the time he got home and not responding to my messages, he was gonna come, and he was coming with force. I barricaded myself into that room. I covered my door with anything possible, my dresser, a chair, part of my bed, but I still woke up to him at 2 o'clock in the morning, strangling me. He then went on to pick me up by my neck and throw me directly through the wall. That was my memory of that New Year's of 2003. Not the type of memory anybody would want to have, correct? We moved on with our lives after just so many years of abuse. I ended up, after 6 years of that relationship, pregnant at the end of 6 years. Surprise to everyone, because I had already left this crazy relationship. A lot of people tell me all the time, how is it I survived that relationship? They question why I stayed in that relationship, and do I regret anything about that relationship? But the one thing that I will attest, through all my nights of being abused, being smacked, being hit, choked, hair pulled, I have my greatest blessing. People often ask me how I raise a little girl as a single mom, especially coming from such a relationship. And I tell them the same thing that I will repeat to you today. My daughter is my saving grace. If my daughter had not told the police on that final day that I was hit, that she saw and witnessed what had happened at only 4 years old, I don't think I ever would have had that line in the sand. I don't think I ever would have walked away from that terrible relationship. My daughter saved me that day, and I think God knew that that's exactly what I needed to get through this all. I can recall times where he stood outside of my apartment and would hit the back window of the first floor apartment, just trying to get my attention, and I would beg him to leave me alone. I recall, even more than anything, I guess, the day that I called, the day that I thought I would kill him. He had taunted me the entire evening that I was at a wedding. He kept telling me that he knew what I was doing and he had someone watching me. And I was filled with so much rage during that wedding that I decided on my drive home that I was gonna kill him. This was enough. By this point, all of the 6 years have passed. My daughter was already born, and I was tired, just tired of constantly being abused. And I walked into my apartment as he held my daughter, and I told him to put her down. And we fought, and I took my 6-inch heels and I stabbed him, and I stabbed him, and I stabbed him. I stabbed him till the blood covered everywhere, as he screamed and stated that he would call the cops and press charges. And just the sound that evening of my 3-month-old daughter crying woke me up out of that trance. And I realized at that point, if I hurt him, I would never be able to raise her. So you see, she not only saved me once, but she saved me twice. Had I killed him that evening and ended my pain of domestic violence, I probably would have ended up in jail. Who knows where we would be and if I would have even been able to raise my daughter. So that was the first time she saved me, and I attest all of my strength to her. The next time was the last time that he laid his hands on me. I never thought that he would hit me again after all these years. And that day, she was 4 years old, and after he had knocked me out cold and was gone, I woke up to police surrounding me, and my daughter being the one at 4 years old explaining to the police officers exactly what she saw. That was my wake-up call. That was the last time that he ever put his hands on me. So if there's anything that I can say to those of you watching, look for that little sign, whether it's in your children, whether it's in friendships, whether it's in other relationships, whether it's in God, whatever your comfort level is, find that something that will help you rise from this darkness. I started my organization, Love Shouldn't Hurt, 2 years ago this October, and it's been nothing but a blessing. We've been able to help so many women and men leave tremendous relationships. So as the start of Domestic Violence Awareness Month begins, I hope that you will find the beauty in yourself, find the compassion in the help that others are seeking to give you, and just know that you matter. You're worth it. Love shouldn't hurt. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope that you guys have a great October. Remember to support any efforts in domestic violence throughout the month of October. Thank you.